So pleased to welcome to the show some of our younger activists that can give us some perspective. We have the co-founder of Black Lives Matter Youth Vanguard, Amara Abdullah. Welcome to the front page.
Thank you for having me.
And also a student leader with Students Deserve. I think that needs a hashtag Students Deserve, who's also a rising senior. Kalila Williams, welcome.
Hello, thank you.
You guys must be feeling pretty good. I hope you're feeling pretty good right about now. Students Deserve, Black Lives Matter Youth Vanguard, both with a really big victory around the whole issue of cops on campuses. Kalila, you wanna start on that? Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, sure. I know Students Deserve and Black Lives Matter LA have been working close in hands for a while now to try to get the school board members to vote to defund the school police. Initially, our first motion was 50%, but this 35% that we got was still a huge victory for a lot of us, because this means that we're pushing in the right directions to invest in Black communities and restorative justice and mental health instead of law enforcement insecurity. So.
It's awesome. I have questions for you guys, but I guess I kind of should back up a little bit. I introduced you, Kalila, as a student leader at Students Deserve, but not everyone knows what that is. Explain what Students Deserve is, what you guys do.
Okay, Students Deserve is a youth-led program, mainly by Black students, but we fight for Black, Muslim, and Latinx students in schools. So we fought against random searches. We fought for the defunding of police during when coronavirus first hit, for the pushing of making sure that no student can fail and that the grades they had before they went on to online learning were the grades that they really deserved. And so we've campaigned, we've rallied, we've done a lot. And sometimes the credit that deserves isn't always there, but Students Deserve is a youth-led program, and we work to organize to fight for safety and community within the schools, especially for Black and Latinx students.
And Amara Abdullah, tell me about Black Lives Matter Youth Vanguard. What does that consist of? I think people think they know what Black Lives Matter is in general. They may or may not, but definitely many don't know about the Youth Vanguard.
Well, yeah, the Black Lives Matter Youth Vanguard is definitely very underrepresented. I wouldn't say because of Black Lives Matter. I think it's because we normally just do the work and not really say who we are. But Black Lives Matter Youth Vanguard is basically, what Black Lives Matter is, but, fighting for Black Lives Matter in schools, and in our youth spaces, to really, get the justice that we need in terms of Black youth being criminalized in their spaces of learning, and Black youth being criminalized in their own homes and in their own communities.
And Amara, do you mind if I ask you what grade you're rising into?
I'm a rising freshman.
Go freshman. What made you want to become an activist? I mean, you started at what age, and what got you into it?
Well, I've been organizing ever since I can remember because of my mom. My mom is Melina Abdullah, and I wouldn't say, I do think that it's something that's kind of natural for a family, because when you grow up around people who know what's going on, you can't really avoid the fact that you have to do something about it. So I think what made me want to organize is really seeing how I was treated in school, and that's not normal, because I'm going to be honest, I was never one to follow directions when I thought that they were wrong. So when when I saw myself being criminalized for talking back to the teacher and having school police called on me repeatedly, I knew that that wasn't right, and I knew that even though I was acting out, it wasn't something that we needed police for and we needed criminalization for. So I guess that's really what motivated me to, get involved.
Okay, so Amara, I'm going to tell you this. My dad is also a well-known activist. He's not alive anymore, Mary Baraka. And my mom, too, Diane DiPrima. So I was raised always around, protests and petitions and marches, you know the stuff.
Yeah.
And for me, I took it into my heart, too, that I wanted to make a difference and stuff. But I know plenty of people who are children of activists, children of the movement, who go the opposite way. They become, the new Stacey Dash. They become young Republicans. They run from it. They feel like, they want a different lifestyle, a sort of more mainstream, middle class or, I don't know, sort of American dreamish type of existence. So I feel like as a child of an activist, you can go either way. You can run from it, you can embrace it, or, well, there's a third path, which is ignore it. And so clearly, I'm not going to just say, oh, well, automatically because Dr. Abdullah is an activist, her daughter Amara is automatically going to be. I see that as your own conscious choice, because you could be on Fox News right now denouncing Black Lives Matter, but you're not.
Exactly. Well, I definitely feel like that's a feeling that I've felt all of these things before, because I used to feel like, oh, I don't like that my mom organizes so much, but because I thought that it was taking away from, her time with her kids. But I definitely feel like now that I understand, because what I've said before is that what made me want to organize and what made me, realize that this was important is the fact that I experienced it firsthand. And it's not that my mom is an activist. That's definitely part of it, but that's not the main reason.
Right. It means you know how to do it, but it doesn't mean that you choose it.
Well, it means that I was taught about it,
Right,
and
exactly.
it means that I know what's going on. But I'm saying, like you said, I'm choosing to do something about it. I'm not choosing to ignore it, and I'm not choosing to run away from it. Yeah. Because I know that there's people out there who need help just like me.
Well said. Kalila, I'm going to ask you the same question. What drew you to this work? It's not necessarily the easiest thing all the time. It's not necessarily the path of least resistance. Why did you want to be an activist?
Well, actually, very recently, like Amara, I experienced firsthand with the school police discrimination when I was accused of having a drug overdose when I had passed out at school. So I had always been interested in public advocacy and becoming an advocate. And so I started in my school by founding the Black Student Union at my school, because we didn't have one. And, I noticed that, there was very many people there was people that supported me, and then there were some people who didn't. So when I was brought upon the opportunity by two of my teachers about Students Deserve, I was like, this program sounds amazing and I'm all for it. And I was asked to attend one of the protests. And we did the aerial photo. I was in charge of the aerial photo, spelling out defund LASPD. And from then I kind of just really started engaging more. And how can I become involved in things that are going on in my community and things that are going on? So I've been with Students Deserve for a couple of months now, and I've been protesting outside of LAUSD headquarters. I've been with Amara and Black Lives Matter on the forefront of the Hall of Justice for the pushing of the Jackie Lacey protest and just pushing her out of office, and making sure that families get the support that they need, and that police are defunded out of schools and defunded from the LAP, and money is defunded from LAPD too. So yeah, I kind of started a few months ago, but I've always had that passion for advocacy, and I started slowly in my school, and then futured out into my community.